TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
Hello and welcome to this edition of TravelWise podcast. I'm Phil Blizzard in Dubai, and on this occasion, very much an interview special, or interviews, as we have a mountainous edition of TravelWise. We're combining or looking at the Swiss Alps, the snow-covered Swiss Alps, and the rather bleak, barren Jebel Jais in the northern Emirates of Ras Al Khaimah. So we're starting off with Ryan Pyle, who's a TV presenter, adventurer and keynote speaker, and catching up with him as he begins a journey across Europe, climbing mountains in various countries. And we joined up with him in Switzerland. And then after that, we'll be journeying across up to the northern Emirates of Ras Al Khaimah to look at some new attractions at Jebel Jais, the highest mountain in the UAE.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
Well, on the show today, Ryan Pyle, it's great to be catching up with you. Last time we spoke was a few months ago. You were locked down in Istanbul. Now you've managed to escape, so to speak, and you're in the wonderful fresh air of Switzerland. How are you?
I am. I'm great. Thank you, Phil, for having me back. And yes, the last time we talked, I got stuck during the COVID-19 global lockdown in Istanbul, and I was there for 4 months, and just recently managed to exit Istanbul and Turkey in general, and now I'm in Switzerland. So it's wonderful to be here, and I'm back filming again, which is even better.
Even better, as you say. It's great to be going back to doing what one is passionate about. So where are you in Switzerland, and tell us a bit about what you're up to.
Well, so at the moment I'm in a very small town called Lenk, which is in kind of south central Switzerland. And I have been I arrived here kind of in early August, and we've started filming an episode of my Extreme Trek series on BBC Earth and Amazon Prime. And what I'm basically doing is I'm walking across Switzerland. So Switzerland has this cross-country trail. It's called the Via Alpina, and it's 20 stages, and it's 390 kilometers, and it goes from Vaduz in Liechtenstein all the way to Montreux on Lake Geneva.
So 20 stages. What section are you on at the moment? What sort of stage are you in terms of the overall adventure across Switzerland?
I'm 75% done. I just finished section 15 yesterday, and today we're doing some interviews. Every couple of days we take kind of like a day off from trekking in order to catch up with some interesting personalities, and so that's what we're doing today. And tomorrow I'm back on the trail on stage 16.
Well, I've been following you on LinkedIn with your posts there, which seems to be a stage-by-stage account of where you are. Scenery looks fantastic. The weather must be pretty amazing compared with what we are going through here in the Gulf region at the moment. So nice, clean, fresh mountain air and cool temperatures, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, summers in Switzerland, trekking in the high alpine valleys and stuff like that is a dream come true. And it's funny, like we are meeting a lot of people on the trail, and they're all Swiss. You know, it's just a strange time to be traveling, because I'm really the only person, you know, not from Switzerland that we've met. We've met a few other Europeans from Holland and from Denmark, but for the most part, it's just the Swiss people aren't traveling internationally, so they're traveling at home. And I'm just running into huge amounts of other Swiss people on the trail. So it's a very strange time to be traveling with no other international travelers around, really.
That is very much what I anticipated in many ways, because of borders perhaps being closed, restrictions, quarantine. People can't go away for a nice mountain trek and then spend 2 weeks in quarantine on their return, I suppose. So give us some indication of the level of the stages. You know, you're talking extreme treks. Are they very demanding?
Well, some of the sections are not very demanding. Like some of them are, you know, essentially the Via Alpina was set up. You know, Switzerland is a big trekking, hiking country, but a lot of people just do day trips or they do weekend trips because they have real lives and they have jobs. And you know, if you break down each section individually, it makes for a very strenuous day trip. So in that sense, it's not very extreme, although sometimes you can get up to altitudes of almost 3,000 meters above sea level. Yeah. And of course, we got caught in a hailstorm the other day, so Mother Nature will play her tricks on you. But what we really
you need those challenges, don't you? You need these challenges at times.
You do. It keeps you honest, or else you're just walking around in Switzerland being like, geez, I'm in.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what about
Mother Nature will slam you down every once in a while.
And more from Ryan in a short while as we find out in the next segment how Switzerland has opened up to travellers and explorers during this COVID era, and also what Ryan Pyle has got lined up in terms of further productions for his TV series.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
What about other activities? Are you coming across people doing, I would imagine it's very popular for aerial sports, hang gliding, for example. Are those activities taking place?
Yeah, people are mountain biking on some of the same trails we're walking on. We've seen a lot of people paragliding, hand gliding. We saw a couple people, skydiving the other day. I mean, Switzerland just seems to be this strange little bubble where everything seems to be kind of going okay. I haven't really followed the news much because I've been trekking and in the middle of nowhere most days, but you have to wear a mask on public transport.
Sure.
And of course, in the hotels and the buffets and the food and dining and things like that, everyone's kind of socially distanced. But apart from that, everyone is just outside enjoying the beautiful nature that is Switzerland, and it's been lovely.
Tell us a little bit about your team, and I know you've got a guide from Switzerland assisting you with your trek. So what's the size of your team regarding the filming of the program series?
Yeah, so with Extreme Treks, I always travel with 2 camera operators, and on this trip I've got Chad Ingram, who's been working with me for 10 years. He's my director of photography, and I've got Daniel Milton as another camera operator. And then part of the Extreme Treks television series is that I always work with a guide who knows the country and who's local to the country. And on this trip, that's Ursula Geiger, and she's Swiss based and a Swiss mountain guide. So she's with me on the trail just to make sure we don't get lost, and also and is also just someone to joke around with and enjoy the company of and learn, Switzerland through her eyes.
Yeah, great stuff, and a lot of local knowledge being garnished from her, no doubt. So just quickly looking ahead, what's going to be your next adventure? And tell us about that.
Well, I've got 5 more very long and challenging stages before I get to the Swiss Riviera of Montreux, which is where we end our journey. And then I've got a few days off, and then we're driving up to Poland to do another episode. So, I basically made the decision to stay in Europe for as long as possible, just as a place where it's, where we can travel relatively freely without having to fly, because it's just too difficult at the moment going through airports and dealing with those hassles. So we're driving up to Poland, and we're going to do another episode in the Tatra Mountains in southern Poland and around Krakow. And then
I was there last year. Wonderful. Krakow is a great base, beautiful. And we could see snow on the mountains, and that was like May, I think it was. So, enjoyed that. And I must say it's been great catching up with you. And what's the time frame for Extreme Treks, this, the Swiss adventure going out on air?
Well, we have to finish 8 episodes and then give them to BBC and Amazon Prime, so it won't be out until Q4 next year. And, hopefully the world will be in a better place by then, and people can sit back and enjoy and actually maybe travel to some of the places we went to during this lockdown.
Indeed, looking forward to it. Well, Ryan, always a pleasure and great to chat with you about you and your adventures, and stay safe, and let's catch up when you're in Poland.
Thank you, Phil, and it's wonderful to always connect, and stay safe in Dubai.
Ryan Pyle, always good to catch up with you, and filming in Europe, in Switzerland at that moment before heading across to Poland to continue a number of programs for his Extreme Talk series on Amazon and BBC. Right, taking a little break. Back next as we head up to the Northern Emirates of Ras Al Khaimah, and a couple of aspects. A talk to the CEO of the Ras Al Khaimah Tourism Development Authority about some new adventure attractions at Jebel Jais, the highest mountain in the UAE, part of the Hajar range of mountains, and also starting off with our interview with Raki Philips about their Shortcation promotion, which started at the beginning of the summer.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
Well, a travel special. We're at the Waldorf Astoria in Ras Al Khaimah, and I'm really, really excited actually because I'm meeting people for the very first time in real situation, not online, so to speak. Raki Philips, good to catch up with you in reality.
How you doing, Phil? Great to see you as well.
Yeah, great. It's really good to be out and about. And of course, I mean, last time we spoke was right at the start of this campaign, the Shortcation. And today is what, the climax of it, because you've announced the winner.
Absolutely, and we called him live on air, and you saw he was shocked. He thought it was. He wasn't sure it was for real, but we convinced him, so it's good.
Yeah. So, as a little reminder for our listeners, the Shortcation campaign started way back at the start of the summer. How many months did it run for?
It started on June 7th till August 31st, and it was really a play on words from how popular staycations were. So we wanted to beat the curve to it and called it a shortcation. We've been able to attract some of the domestic market coming out of Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and the other Emirates to come up to Ras Al Khaimah, where we have sprawling hotels, wide open spaces, great place for social distancing. And the campaign ran and was a big success for the destination.
Before we get on to some of the figures, I mean, you've had some very impressive figures in terms of how many people you've reached, how many people took part. You embrace all the hotels and the attractions into this campaign.
We did. So basically the Shortcation campaign was you book a 3-night stay at any of our participating hotels, which most of the hotels participated, and you would win 2 attraction tickets, either to the Jebel Jais zip line, the Jais Adventure Peak, or to the Suwaidi Pearl Farm. On top of that, kids would stay and eat for free, and you would win weekly raffle draws, and one grand draw, which was what we gave today, which is a C-Class Mercedes-Benz 2020 brand spanking new, parked right outside the Waldorf Astoria.
I was just going to say that. We're in the impressive Waldorf Astoria. You've got the stage set up. You couldn't get the car in, but it's just outside, and it is a wonderful-looking car.
It is, definitely.
A magnificent relationship with Gargash regarding the Mercedes, the third prize, and this wonderful venue.
Definitely. I mean, they jumped to the opportunity, Gargash Motors with the Mercedes-Benz. They were great partners and were able to both promote the destination through their database and through their contacts, and we were able to promote Mercedes here at the Waldorf, and overall, I'm very pleased with the partnership.
I guess really you started off as very much for the domestic market. Things have opened up towards the end of July, so has there been much of a response from people coming into the Emirates from outside the UAE?
Definitely. I think what made us more attractive to the few international travelers that were coming in as travel corridors opened up was because we were the first destination in the world that was verified as a safe city hotel, as a safe destination. And that included getting our verification from Bureau Veritas as well as a safe stay with the WTTC, the World Travel Tourism Council.
Yeah. Okay, some facts and figures now, because you've had some very big numbers coming up on the screen. So can you remember them all?
I'll try my best, but I think we had 15,000 bookings, which was pretty substantial, considering that people were staying for a minimum of 3 nights. We had over almost 2,000 tickets to the zip line, to the Jebel Jais Adventure Peak, over 800 bookings at the Suwaidi Pearl Farm. We had 65 million impressions on social media and over 145 million dirhams worth of coverage across all of our media channels. And then we had 40 influencers that stayed with us as well.
All right, that's very impressive figures.
Definitely.
Indeed,
Thank you.
So that's great. So a starting point, as things slowly sort of change and evolve in terms of travel and tourism, what can we expect from Ras Al Khaimah as a destination? Well, over the next few months.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is the Shortcation campaign has positioned Ras Al Khaimah. We measure RevPAR, obviously, as you would know. We're number 1 in the UAE year to date for RevPAR, number 2 in the GCC, and these types of campaigns will continue. We're going to continue to have a lot more attractions. We've got a huge focus on Jebel Jais, some phenomenal attractions. Bear Grylls opens up October 8th.
I was going to ask you about that because I knew it was going to be fairly soon.
It is October the 8th, my wife's birthday, so I do remember that date.
Don't forget that. And you better be with your wife.
I will, absolutely.
She's
8 months pregnant, so probably not.
No, stay at home.
She'll stay at home. I'll do the adventure.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. And the other thing that we're doing is we will have 1484, the highest restaurant in the UAE, launching October 1st. So we're very, very excited about it. Those are going to be the 2 first attractions that open up. But we've also enhanced the mountain. We have e-bikes that are up there. We've we've put some new shading, great play area for kids. And we've got just a lot of enhancements that are our hiking trails. We now will have the first destination in the world that has night hiking. So you can actually go at night. We have reflectors and lights that are beautiful and that you can guide you around the mountain.
On those steep drops, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Steer you away from that, and then you can have a wonderful experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So plenty going on. And of course, the weather is slowly
the perfect time to do it.
By then.
Yeah.
October, November, it'd be fantastic.
Great weather. Things are opening up. We are always taking care of safety and security and putting all the measures to prevent any challenges, especially with the COVID. And we're doing it. We both got our masks on, looking sharp, smiling behind it, but we're very excited about it.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views, and interviews.
TravelWise is a Phil Blizzard radio production. Email me at philblizzardmedia@gmail.com.
A Phil Blizzard radio production.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views, and interviews.